afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla. I'm a light worker and a crone, and this is my friend Heather, my fellow crone.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody. How are y'all today? Hi, White Dragon. Hi, Lisa Rhodes. I don't know what's going on with the visual. Our camera, I cannot get it fixed, so you're just going to have to suffer through this one last show.
Till we figure it out.
Till we can figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Happy people, dogs, and cats. My dog's not in here today, but I'm sure she will be before the end of the show because she always is.
Exactly.
So today we're actually going to talk about holiday traditions. We're not going to do anything in particular. We have a list of pretty much American holiday traditions, I guess it is.
And we'd love for you to share back what you guys do.
So if you don't mind, please share what your all's traditions is, and then we can talk about that as well. But until we get there, let's start with Heather's cards and see what the cards have to say for us today. And these are our Christmas crackers. Do you know what Christmas crackers are, guys? We should pull one on the show, too. Let's do one.
We will.
Hi, Rose Flower. Welcome. Can't get them. Yeah.
Okay,
these are Christmas crackers. Are you guys familiar with these? I didn't know anything about them until I moved to England.
And I didn't know about any of them until I moved in with them.
So we are ready for Christmas. How about you guys? I'm off to Colorado in the cold on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. And then I get to play in the mountains for 10 days.
And snow.
I'm excited. I only see snow once a year, so I'm cool with that.
I'm going to ask you to move those.
You bet. And they have left sparklies everywhere on our table.
That's all right. We can handle that.
We should have had a red tablecloth for Christmas. Maybe next year.
Okay.
Hi, Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Welcome.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about holiday traditions today. So if you have something different that you do for the holidays, during the holidays, let us know. I can tell you one thing in this house is we do not eat, what is it called? Christmas cake. Fruit cake. No fruit cake in this house.
Although occasional piece, I don't mind at all.
As long as it's super nutty, I can handle it. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we are the storm, and I imagine with this season everybody's going crazy. We are the storm, and our creativity sometimes gets in the way of being able to be the storm to get things done that we want to get done. In the meantime, sometimes we our spirits change our mind about what we want to do because there's so much stuff going on, but our body stays innocent in it. What is the matter?
We went away for a second.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
We're back.
At least card cam works.
So one of the things that helps you during this season, and this seems like such a practical reading rather than one that has to do with your spiritual growth, but this is just, to me, practical. As we're thinking, as we're storming through and getting things done, and our creativity comes along, the changing of mind and everything, if we're writing all these things down as we go along, just making plans and everything, then everything comes out in the right order for us. So to me, this is very, very practical. In the middle of the storm, if you can, even though there's so many ideas coming on, if you can go back into what you wrote down that you really want,
it certainly helps, doesn't it?
It's going to keep everything in the right order, and you're not going to get confused with all your new ideas. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
So,
White Dragon says when he was a kid, there was one fruit cake in the city that was passed around all the time and no one ate. Probably still being passed around.
They talked about that in our church. We went to church in New York City. It was a very, very large church, but and everybody would joke about that. So that was part of it.
Well, my family bakery in Texas made fruit cakes only one time a year, and that was at Christmas. And as a family member, you would get a box or however many. My mother would get like 20 boxes of 2, and she would put bows on them and send them out to all her friends who said they loved them. Of course. But they only did it one time a year. And when the bakery sold, they quit doing it, and it didn't bother me at all.
And I bought a fruit cake for David one year because I knew you didn't like it, but he wanted a fruit cake. It took him 2 years of boozing it up before he would eat it. It was ready in 2 years. He kept pouring.
Well, that's the
booze
trick. You put
on it.
rum on it. Rum on it. That's the only way you can eat it, in my opinion.
You can get high that way.
Hi, Janet P. Welcome. Welcome to our holiday traditions.
I thought it meant he wanted to eat it. No, he wanted to booze it up.
He
for
wanted
a
to
couple
booze it
years
up
first.
That's funny.
It was. I found it
So,
hilarious.
you want to start talking about the traditions?
Well, we all have different traditions, and actually, we were looking at this. It's a bucket list. You can find it online, and I was looking and saying,
Wait a minute. I think I have that somewhere.
yes, you do. There it is. Anyway, you can also find it online. It lists all sorts of things that you might do. I have some things in there that I did that are not on there, but that's okay. Like having grown up in New York City, one of the traditions of the area was to go see the Rockettes do their Christmas shows. So you would get tickets, and that was one of the
Radio City Music Hall, yeah.
All right.
And didn't you also go to the Thanksgiving Day parade, the Christmas parade sometimes?
Sometimes we went one time when it was so cold. I mean, because in those between the buildings, it's like the cold air comes in and just refrigerates.
Yeah.
And you're standing there, and no matter how warmly you're dressed, you're freezing. I don't know how they have all these people out there. And if you see fur coats, I understand why. Those things are warm. But
They are warm.
But we tried that once and said, we'll watch it on TV.
I don't blame you. I like to watch it on TV.
But it was fun to get in the crowd, but it was so crowded. So many people. So
Can't even imagine.
It
Spirit
was
Watcher Suzanne says she loves fruitcake, especially with walnuts on it. So everybody, send your fruitcakes to Spirit Watcher Suzanne. She'll take care of them.
yeah. And
Suzanne, do you pour rum on it too? My aunt always did that. They would have them up in the cabinet with dates on them when they were put up there, and every year there would be more rum added to it or whatever alcohol.
I don't know how they ate it.
I don't either.
Anyway, you did definitely get high on it.
I'm
But
gonna go
anyway,
back to this 'cause it's
we were
cute.
looking at some of the traditions and where they came from, and it's like all of these, in some way, they seem to head back towards paganism, but they've transferred them into being Christian.
Yeah.
So, but we were going to go through a bunch of them and some of the ones that we do, and let you know that we do that one. But before we do that, like for instance, this year, you want to go through what we've done?
We've lit up our house like, what is it?
You can see it from the satellites.
From the satellites, for sure. It's a Griswold Christmas around here, minus the burnt tree.
Right.
But we have the conch holiday train that comes by, and the conch holiday, what's the other one? It's a holiday train.
And the bus.
And a trolley. And they come by every night the last 2 weeks before Christmas, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always have to decorate big.
They take people out so they can see the houses. And
all throughout Key West.
We have tried several times to get tickets, and they're always sold out.
On the day. The day they come out, they're
already sold out. So we haven't been able to ride one.
I tried to get one for Christmas, and I tried to get one for Halloween, and I couldn't. On the very first day the tickets came out, couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
They were already gone.
So tell me, what are the most common traditions that you know of?
The Christmas tree. A lot of us put up a Christmas tree. And, well, the most common is the nativity. You've sung carols but for the longest time, and for me and for my kids and for my folks, we put up a nativity scene. And now they have them in they were always the traditional, but I've seen them now where they're modern art pieces, and they don't look at all like the nativity that I remember, but it's a nativity scene.
We used to have a live one in Fort Worth at the Methodist Church.
Yeah.
And they would have cows and chickens and sheep and you name it. Everything but a live baby, I believe.
Well, I grew up in New Jersey, and even in New Jersey, there was usually at least one church in the city. That if you can go to any of the cities, there was one church that had live nativity. They might only have it several, specific nights of the week,
Yeah.
or they say we're going to do live nativity this week, and that's all they do it for. But they always had their live nativities. They said spend the afternoons putting up the tree. It takes us a little longer.
Yes, it does.
So,
I love that White Dragon says they do a big Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve dinner with a pig.
That's
a
cool.
roast pig. That's cool.
That's cool. There's also leaving Santa milk and cookies, especially if you have kids. That's what you're going to do. Drinking eggnog. We'll approach that a little later. But yeah, drinking eggnog is one of them.
Definitely one of my family's traditions.
And kissing under the mistletoe, I've always heard of it. I've even seen it hanging around. But I don't think I've ever been kissed under the mistletoe. I don't go out that often, I guess. Anyway, what are the traditions for kids?
Oh, I tell you, one of my favorites is the Elf on the Shelf. I wish they had that when Jennifer
we were
was
kids?
No, when Jennifer was a little girl.
Oh, yeah, that would have been
when we were
cool.
kids, that would have been fun too. But oh my God, I love that Elf on the Shelf. And there's a lady on Facebook that has her elves doing all kinds of crazy things. And one of them, the elf was standing in a roll of toilet paper, and there was a Hershey's Kiss behind him. It was a Hershey's Kiss behind him, like he just pooped on the roll. That cracks me up. They don't do eggnog in the UK. Well, they do if they know me, because I took my eggnog recipe to the UK with me.
Which we'll show you later.
And I have that recipe for all of you all to share. It is nothing like that disgusting store-bought
No, it's not.
yucky stuff.
It's really, really good.
It's actually
too good.
It's absolutely delicious.
Yes.
But there you go. Anyway, I took that recipe to England and shared it with all my English friends. So several of them make eggnog to this day. I love that.
But don't worry, we've got one here for you to copy.
Gina M., the recipe is coming up. As a matter of fact,
We'll put it up. You can go
there
ahead and
you
work
go,
on it.
right there.
And we'll continue talking while you
write it down or take a picture.
And that one is not for. Well, you drank it as a kid.
Yeah,
Generally not for kids.
My dad would put milk in it for the kids, though.
Yeah.
So I want to see. White Dragon says, when my kids were small, we used to go see the model train people and set up outside their lawns. And oh my God, I would have loved that. The lights. Hardly anyone does that today. You're right. They were so much
We
fun.
always set up trains around the Christmas. I have a train set, but it's so small here. There's a train set out in our cabinet because we want to put it up for going around the Christmas tree, but it won't fit.
Hi, Gypsy T. Welcome.
So, but it's
Hi,
fun.
Gertrude.
What else do kids do?
A handmade advent calendar. You can make an advent calendar, or they have some really cool ones. Like Heather's been sending my grandkids Harry Potter ones over the last few years.
And I sent one with stones this year. I also sent for the adults. I sent one that's like trying to get out of a room. They give you a clue every day.
That's
it's a
fun.
puzzle.
Yeah.
But the one that I actually handmade, it was with felt and sequins and beads, and each piece sticks on the tree on each day. It's made with Velcro for sticking, and my son and his kids have that.
Oh,
And
I love that.
So it's an automatic advent card, sort of, but it's a Christmas tree with the ornaments to put on for each day. And at the final one is Santa Claus at the top. And
That's really cute. I love that.
It is cute, and it's probably going to be handed down as one of those things that's going to end up being on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's lovely.
But everybody loves that one, so me too.
Hey, Gypsy T, be sure you get the ingredients ready for Granddaddy's eggnog, because I'll be making it, or you'll be making it. One of us will be making it Christmas morning, I'm sure.
And I hadn't heard of this next one.
This is something new that I haven't heard of. Christmas Eve boxes to give to your kids with little treats and Christmas-themed PJs and toys and stuff like that. So they can, you know how horrible it is on Christmas Eve when you're waiting and waiting and waiting as a kid, and then you can't do anything until the next morning? I think this is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yep.
And then there's Miracle on 34th Street, watching
Or any
Christmas
movie.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie is Christmas movie. Oh, God, they're hard. But I like the goofy ones like the Santa Claus, the Elves with Attitude. I absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
And I like the one with the new Santa Claus with Goldie Hawn and
Oh,
her-
yeah.
her
And
hubby.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
They
I
make
love
a
that
great
one.
team together. We like that one.
Gina says, yes, they do a Christmas Eve box, PJs, DVD, a sweet or hot chocolate. I love that.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
wonderful. White Dragon, you binge all day on Doctor Who episodes. Now, is that on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? That's interesting.
And they even listed based now they're number one based on the gross amount of money.
One moment, please. I have just one more thing to say.
Okay.
The letter to Santa Claus.
Oh, definitely.
All the
you have
kids need to write a letter to Santa Claus.
to. That's right. And our kids, they even did it in school.
Mhm.
They wrote letters to Santa Claus in school, so I didn't worry about it.
Suzanne, I still love putting together Christmas stockings.
Right.
Love Christmas
My-
stockings.
my
that was
mom-
the one thing we could get into on Christmas morning.
Yeah, I
we
was
could
gonna
get
t-
into our stockings, but nothing else. We'll get
Us
there.
too. Us
We'll-
too. Us too. Anyway, they had a list based on how much money each movie made as to the top 10 Christmas. And the first one, I'll go from the 10th. 4 Christmases.
I don't even
And-
know that one.
Yes, you do. It's the one, it's more of an adult one, and it's got the
Don't worry about it. Move
Anyway,
on. It's
a
all
lot of people
right.
have that. Then there's the 9th one is Santa Claus 2. Then there's Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
I don't know that one either.
I don't know that one. The Santa Claus. Then The Holiday. And
I
that
remember that.
you remember that. Well, I linked The Holiday and the Four Christmases together because they're
Adult
same time.
movies.
Elf.
Reese Witherspoon, she says. Yep, Elf is on there. It's number 5.
Number 5. Number 4 is The Polar Express.
Oh.
Number 3 is A Christmas Carol. I personally like the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol. Anyway,
I like the really old Christmas
yeah,
Carol.
the real one. Okay, and I when they say A Christmas Carol, I also remember the one I can't remember the. Oh darn! Anyway, it was a spoof on the Christmas Carol.
Hi, Cherie. Welcome.
And the number 2 is Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And number 1, was The Grinch.
I'm surprised.
It made
I like the Muppets Christmas Carol too, Gypsy T.
yeah.
Yes, that's a good one too.
So anyway,
So, what's the next tradition? I think it's decorating your tree.
right. And we have, I don't know about you, but we have, our favorite tree is a hodgepodge of all different kinds of
Yeah.
ornaments.
Oh, I love Miracle on 34th Street too, especially
Yes.
the original.
I like the original. Yes.
Wasn't it Natalie Wood?
Yes,
little
she
girl?
was Natalie Wood. Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it was Natalie Wood.
But we have several
Good.
different themes. A lot of people have themes for their Christmas trees, but I prefer the hodgepodge.
Me too.
Although I did enjoy our
COVID tree?
COVID tree, yes, with it had all sorts of designed masks hanging on for ornaments, and we used toilet paper for the
Garland.
and it was anybody that saw it just laughed their heads off. They thought it was great. Wish they'd thought of it.
Did you know there are 30 to 35 million Christmas trees sold every year at Christmas time? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
And
amazing.
77% of U.S. households have one.
Good for them.
Whether it's fake or real, they all have Christmas trees.
That's cool.
Yep. They said estimated 81% are artificial. And now I always had a real Christmas tree till I found out I was allergic to pine. So now we have an artificial one.
Pine and fir and everything else that has to do with it.
Right. She tried
Cedar.
to put greenery up around the house, and I
put real garland on the first year we lived here on the railings. All over the railings. She died trying to get into the house. It was like the walk of hell.
It smelled so good. Achoo. Oh, my throat is stopping.
I love that. Hi, Miss Allie. Thank you for being here. She says that she used to get real ones, didn't want trees dying, so now she gets the fake ones.
Right.
Yeah, we get the fake ones too. In fact, we have a pencil tree. It's called a pencil tree. It's about this big around.
Yeah, at the widest area, it fits in the corner real well because there's no place else for it.
Yeah.
Living in a conch house is a...
Hi, Willow. Welcome.
Small. Hi.
Great to see you guys.
Anyway, so we set those up, and there's millions of them. And for some reason or other, the Christian Christmas traditions got started with a color scheme, and you'll find red and gold and green for the most in colors.
Well, that's actually true.
Yeah.
When you think about it. I mean, I always remember seeing red and green, but gold is
red,
always there
gold,
too.
and green. But when you're
Now
looking at
silver,
Hanukkah,
too.
no, Hanukkah is silver and blue.
Yeah.
So, that everybody has their own color schemes for it. And, of course, the Christmas wreaths.
Oh, God, I love Christmas wreaths.
Yes.
Even before the birth of Christ and Christmas as we know it, Christmas wreath ideas have been used as a symbol of honor and victory. In the Middle Ages, they were adopted by the Christian faith as a representation of the start of Christmas. And the traditional evergreen foliage around the time of winter solstice dates back to pagan and Roman festivals, of course. Saturnia, I believe it was, that turned into Christmas. Bringing greenery into the home was thought to protect us from evil spirits.
Back to our pagan.
Yes, that doesn't sound too Christian
Even
to
all
me.
the way down to the Romans.
And then the mistletoe was revered by the Druids for its ability to survive and remain green during the harsh winters. And they harvested it during winter solstice and used it for medicinal purposes. I don't know what mistletoe is used for medicinal purposes.
That's a cool idea, Lisa Rhodes, to put up.
I put pictures of my son growing up. One ornament, though, it is a sugar bear, stuffed animal that plays music. It has been on my tree for 38 years, and that is just beautiful. I love those kinds of traditions.
Yeah, and I have a music box that my mom had, that her mom had, that they brought over from Scotland, and it plays Silent Night, and it's got a little thing that goes around in the top so you can see it playing, and we're real careful with that thing, but it does still play. It's cool.
Yes. Do y'all remember those tinsel metallic trees with the colored lights that rotated? I remember that rotating light at the bottom of the tree, and you would get pink or green or blue or whatever it was.
But you put
blue, green,
you
and
put
red.
tinsel on the tree. Get this, my mom was Scotch, literally Scotch. We had to take each piece off and lay it out for the next year.
Wow.
We saved them.
That's great. And I like Spirit Watcher Suzanne. December 1st, she hangs a wreath on the front door.
Cool.
My practice is to start decorating the day after Thanksgiving. That's when everything starts. So that's usually the wreath on the front door for sure. The easy stuff gets put up.
And I have a golf cart named Toodles, and she's always decorated.
Yeah, she's out front and decorated as well.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then what else is the mistletoe used for?
Not just my mom. That's great, Spirit Watcher. I just thought it was my mom.
We threw it away with the tree. The tree went out the door with the tinsel still on it.
Only if we couldn't get them off or they were too scrunched up.
That's funny. So, does anybody ever see mistletoe anymore? I remember it grew in our oak trees in Texas, and it was considered a parasite, and my parents always had it cut out because it was supposedly bad for the trees.
Besides poisonous.
Besides it, the berries are the poisonous part, I believe. Yes, White Dragon, you can still buy those lights. We just had to throw a set away that we don't have replacements for. But those were my favorite lights as a kid.
The ones that bubbled?
That look like candles, the bubble lights.
I love those.
My aunt and uncle that lived next door, it was traditional to go over to their house after we opened our presents and had breakfast and try their eggnog.
Whose was the best?
I would sit in front of their tree for hours watching those bubble lights. I just couldn't get enough of those bubble lights, so I had to buy some. I really liked those.
But when one goes, there's no way to replace it. So
Willow says it really is parasitic and it really stinks to me. And Lauren says, I remember those white dragon. I lived in Houston and we drove to the area around NASA where all the astronauts lived. It was a childhood fantasy land.
I'll bet it was.
I remember those. I remember when every neighborhood was just incredible.
Everything was different. You could drive forever. I mean, we took nights out. When my dad would be home, we'd all pile in the car and we would drive through the different towns and look at everybody's lights. And I remember when I was growing up in New Jersey, and Newark was a big town then. It's still big. It's just not thriving like it was when I was a kid. And you could walk downstairs. You heard Christmas music all the way around. It's just like the song Silver Bells. Every street corner, you could hear it. You could hear the scent. And
all the department stores had their windows.
Their windows were fantastic. I mean, you could spend all night just looking at the windows. Forget about going into shopping.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. It was gorgeous. So
I think we can go to Crackers.
Okay, Crackers. That's what these little things are.
Who's familiar with these?
I never heard of them till I went to live with them.
Here, grab one and pull. Let's
okay.
do this one. No, you take the other end.
Okay. Pull. See, it popped. And inside
they had these cool little gifts.
Packages.
Oh, wow, look at that.
A strawberry.
You want to open it and I'll pull out the rest? Oh, I guess that's everything. Oh, the hat.
Yep, there's a hat that you're supposed to put on. And you do this at the dinner table. This is kind of cool.
Now, they do this at the dinner table, and then, I'm not putting this on, but you have to wear the little crown, too. I remember spray snow for stencils. Yeah, window stencils. They were cool. We are covered in stuff.
Oh, look, it's a bag. For putting...
So inside the crackers, usually a hat and a gift. And I guess that's a grocery bag. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've had these crackers forever. I probably had these crackers for 10 years.
No, we bought...
Well, we've been here almost 7.
I know. That one could be. I think I bought those when your husband was still alive. Okay. Old.
Those are fun. Oh, my God. I've got stuff everywhere.
Glitter everywhere. That's
we have glitter everywhere,
like glitter.
kids.
And of course, there's.
You bought luxury crackers. I sure did, Gina. They were the luxury ones for sure.
You call them poppers, okay? Yeah.
Now we had the poppers. They look like a bottle, and you pull.
That's
what
right.
we call poppers.
Yeah, they were like a little liquor bottle.
Yeah, they look like a little liquor bottle. They were weird.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I'm glad we did that. Interesting present.
Yeah, and of course, we exchange gifts. I think most people do. Some don't. I know that one year when my kids and we were really on a tight budget, and so we went to Walmart, and everybody bought separately, so nobody knew. Everybody got their own ornaments to put together. And there were just enough in there that there were 6, which means everybody in the family, because there's 6 of us, everybody in the family got one, including them. So everybody got a different ornament that year. And it was neat because everybody disappeared into their own rooms to work on their things, and there was no fighting at all.
That's nice.
It's nice. And the thing is, they remember it better than I do. They remember working on those, and they thought it was one of the best Christmases they had. But we were short of funds, you can't spend $10-20 on each one of the kids. You make this instead.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's
amazing to me, White Dragon, the people that will put on those silly hats.
Uh-huh.
Corporate presidents, my boss, the president of our company, he wore it just like every employee at the Christmas party. They had them at the company Christmas party. They have them everywhere in England.
I
Everywhere.
remember David getting after anybody who didn't put a hat on. He had the hat on, and everybody else
And this
had to
is a
wear
man
it.
that would not dress up for nothing.
No.
But they love to put these silly hats on. So we did.
We
It was
did.
fun.
Yeah, it was funny. So, now when I was at work, we did have like a secret Santa, and you would draw names out. And I think if you're still working, you probably have a secret Santa too, where you put your name in, and then everybody draws, and that's who you're buying a present for, and then you have a big party.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
those. Those were pretty fun. I don't know if companies still have Christmas parties like they used to when we were working. But every company I ever worked for had a Christmas party for its employees. One of them even had a casino night and gave us the chips to play with.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was wonderful. We had so much fun.
And I remember white elephant meant something different when I was a kid. These were things that we just wrapped in white tissue paper to give through the church. Everybody brought white gift packages and left them at the church, and the church distributed them to all those people who needed something.
Right. That's nice.
And now white elephant is you give away what you really don't want anymore. Somebody else has.
So you open a gift, and if you don't like it, you can take the one from the person next to you that already opened it, or something like that.
Yeah, sometimes they do that kind of a game.
That's weird.
Yeah, or they say, okay, this year I passed this on, here's your present, and they'll get rid of it the next year or something. But when I was a kid at the church, white elephant meant get white tissue paper and wrap whatever it is you were going to give it to those who were less fortunate.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, did you guys ever do anything like that? Yeah.
Willow says a lot of people lost their good reputations at those Christmas parties at work. You're right. Some
So
of
they
them
say.
were pretty intense, pretty crazy.
And you're right, Willow. The dying fruitcake is still here, somewhere. Somebody has it. That was often one of the white elephants.
Yeah, anybody that had a fruitcake wanted to get rid of it.
Exactly. But, of course, there were always little things like tea towels or just something small that you did. Well, thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you, Cherie. Thank you much.
And of course,
I'm wearing a red shirt. It doesn't seem to clash with my pink hair quite as much as it did my magenta hair. So I actually get to wear it. I haven't been able to wear this shirt before.
shoebox gifts at church. Yeah. I remember doing some of those at a different church that we were at. Yeah. We went wherever my dad was playing. He was a church organist and concert organist, but wherever he had the job, that's where we went to church.
He was a talented man.
Yeah.
Okay, who watches the Charlie Brown Christmas? Is that a tradition in your house to watch the Charlie Brown Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Loved
have
Charlie
to.
Brown. I mean, once he showed up, it was always had a Charlie Brown around.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's fun.
And I remember when I was a kid singing carols. There would be church choirs that would walk around
Look
the
at them.
neighborhood.
They all love it. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep. Oh yes, every year. Right. And Christmas caroling. Now I haven't heard so much down here, although I have heard of one group that does get around and carol, but maybe they don't get out into the suburbs. Maybe they stay downtown
I don't know.
and sing. I don't know. But I remember church choirs that would go around certain nights of the week and sing
Key
carols.
West has a great Christmas parade at the beginning of
Right.
December. And I've seen carolers on a truck there, and that was it.
So that was cool. Yes, Charlie Brown every year faithfully, absolutely.
Okay, tell me about the Christmas pickles. Are you guys familiar with Christmas pickles? Because that's a new one on me.
I think they were written by. I think they're more of a European thing, but they
They're
were
from
talking
Germany,
about.
of course they are.
Yeah, but that was how they celebrated Christmas. It wasn't with real pickles. They used to make they made those really glossy, beautiful glass ornaments, and that's what they would make the pickles in. You would hang them on the tree,
See,
and
I've
you know
never
what?
heard of it either.
Come to think of it, I remember there was 1 or 2 pickles that I had to hang on our tree with my folks. And I never understood why this
Okay, well, let me
ugly
read
green
to you
thing
what
was
it
there.
is. It says, it's an American tradition of hiding the green ornament on the tree so that the first child to find it wins a gift or gets to open the first present Christmas morning. The practice's origins are a bit murky or briny. Oh, dear. From a Woolworths marketing gimmick in the 1800s. Who knew? That's where it came from. It was a retailer imported German ornaments shaped like a pickle, and they needed a way to get rid of them.
Who wanted a pickle? But
So
that's what they
White
did.
Dragon knows about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Janet P knows about it. Lisa knows about it.
Yeah, so some of you know about the Christmas pickle.
Well, I want a pickle now.
I don't know if we can even get them anymore.
Yeah, I think they're made out of... You want a pickle? I'll give you a pickle. Gypsy T does it.
Yeah, so it is...
How do you do it? And I didn't know anything about it. That's what I want to know. Okay, Gypsy T, I want a pickle for Christmas.
And a lot of the baubles are made out of hand-blown glass, too. A lot of the, you can get them.
Mercury glass is what those are called.
Yeah,
Remember
mercury
the mercury glass?
Right, yeah.
They're beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Progress, yeah. Okay. Well, we do have one thing that Progress has brought us that we liked. Why don't you tell us about him?
What's that? Oh, the elf on the shelf. I think we did. And White Dragon says, my wife has an elf on the shelf in her classroom.
And it's a smart idea.
I didn't realize it, but it started in 2005. And 13 million elves have been adopted since 2005. That is wild. It was a lady called Carol Abersold and her daughter Chandra Bell that published the book Elf on the Shelf, A Christmas Tradition That Comes with a Toy. That is just wild. And I see it all over the internet. All over Facebook, what people are doing with their elves on the shelves, and I think they're adorable.
And social media, they said, has helped with a lot of different kinds of pranks.
Gypsy T says, we have PTSD from the elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Elf on the shelf blow-up outdoor display. How cute is that?
That is cool. Yep. But they were talking about filling the sinks full of marshmallows or... TP in the tree.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. The lady that I was watching on Facebook. She's part of this group, a part of the YouTube group. I just can't remember which one it was. And a Yule log. Does anybody have a Yule log? Does anybody burn a Yule log? I know my dad would pick out a big one and call it the Yule log. Mm-hmm. Oh, Gypsy T. For parents with ADHD, it's a month long of stress. Well, that's no fun. I suggest hanging that elf on the shelf up. You don't need him.
And then we all have Christmas stockings. Some of them are very elaborate. When my kids were little, I made them their own, using the felt and the sequins and the beads and stuff.
I still have mine from when I was a toddler.
They still have theirs too.
My great aunt made them for all my brothers and sisters. Yeah. And we all still have them.
Yeah, I don't think my kids would get rid of them. Not get rid of them. And
Suzanne says a Yule log is a cake. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is now.
They're pretty
good. It is now. It used to be that they would get the biggest log that they could get and shove it in there and burn it all day long. But they'd make sure they saved a little tiny piece of it left. So it would start the Yule log for the next year.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like burning out the old year, welcoming the new year, and then when they're leaving, when they get to the end of the year again, they're taking the last bit of that year and starting a burning with a new year. So that was cool. A kind of a tradition for them.
This is kind of interesting, this story
here.
Yeah,
St. Nicholas, the patron saint of children, was actually a 4th century Christian bishop in what's now modern-day Turkey. And legend has that he wanted to help a poor family who had 3 daughters, all in need of a dowry before they could marry. Of course, you had to have a dowry. So to give charity without injuring their pride, he threw gold coins down their chimney on Christmas Eve, and the coins fell in a stocking that was hanging in the fireplace to dry. So many people now, my mom always put an orange and an apple in it
Ribbon
to represent
candy,
the gold coin.
these little, can you see these guys? Remember these? These are
Yeah.
sugar-free ones.
But
Christmas
you could get
candies.
little Christmas candies, the hard candies. And in my family, with my dad being a church organist and my mom also a singer, they went to different churches, but my dad always had a Christmas Eve service and then a Christmas Day service.
Oh, yeah.
So usually we'd get home about 1 or 2, and then he'd be gone again by 9 o'clock for the Christmas Day. So we would have to wait until he came back from church, and then we would open presents. Well, we didn't usually ever wrap them at night because that's what they did. Christmas Eve, they wrapped presents, and then they put them under the tree for Christmas. But one Christmas Eve, my younger brother talked him into letting us open all the presents that night before everybody went to bed so we wouldn't have to wait. Maybe on a different Christmas Eve it might have been okay, but that particular Christmas Eve, my younger brother had asked for a trap set. A adult trap set with a bass drum and the one that you bombed with your foot and the snare drum and the cymbals. And even though he was put in the basement for the rest of the night because he didn't go to bed, he played drums all night, and we were on the second floor. My mom and dad didn't sleep, and they said, no more opening presents on Christmas Eve.
I can understand that.
Was not the right Christmas for that.
That's funny.
So, anyway. So, I know a lot of people open presents Christmas Eve, but we did not.
No, we didn't either.
But my mom always made sure that there were a few wrapped smaller presents in our Christmas stocking, and as long as we left them alone and didn't ever wake them up when they were wanting to sleep in, we could open our our Christmas stockings and everything in there, and there was always a game or something that we could do.
Yeah,
keep
my
us
parents
busy.
were like that too.
Yeah.
What did you do with your kids as far as?
Same thing. I said, don't wake us up. Of course, we were up early anyway, but compared to what time they got up, anyway, they all would be down in the basement, because that's where the big fireplace was, and we had the tree up there, and they would all open up their Christmas stockings and be munching on candy forever, and the fruit and whatever toys were in there, they were busy playing or putting them together if there were puzzles. And yeah, that's what I did. It gives you about an hour or 2 more sleep.
That's true. Yeah. Always let Jennifer have her stocking. Whatever was in that, you're all good.
Yep. I think
nothing else can be open, but she was always good about that. And we never got to open a present on Christmas Eve. I feel cheated.
Yeah, we didn't get to either. We had to wait. But I do believe that my son does the same thing for his kids.
Right? I'm sure he does.
Just leave us alone, play with your stocking. So
I like that. Suzanne says her Christmas stockings were placed on our beds when really young, probably to deter waking them up at 4 a.m., but it didn't work. I remember one year my dad actually tied the living room door shut. It was, 2 doors. And he actually put a rope around it to keep, I think it was probably my brothers he was trying to keep out. I don't think my sister and I would have done that, but had to lock them out.
Yep. You had to watch Scrooge movies at least 4 or 5 times. I can understand that.
But White Dragon said he only listens to Burl Ives and Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby, no Mariah Carey. I'm with you on that one. I like the old-timey
and
songs and movies.
The radio's on are the classics. And they're Frank Sinatra, Burl Ives, Gene Autry, and Andy Williams, and Frankie Avalon.
But I love the Johnny Mathis Christmas album is to die for. Aaron Neville's Christmas album is to die for.
Some of the orchestrated ones are really good.
I like the Special Christmas. Remember the one, I think it was called the Special Christmas album that all the rock and roll people got together and did? That was I think they did 2 of those albums. But I'm afraid Mariah Carey's on one of them. Sorry, White Dragon. Oh, and I haven't watched any Scrooge movies this year. We really haven't done much Christmas movies yet. We'll get there.
No, we haven't. We've
We'll
been
get there. And Christmas cards.
overwhelmed.
Who sends out Christmas cards now? This is the second year I have not sent out any Christmas cards.
I just put her name on the ones I'm sending to both people we know.
Oh my
I
God,
still do.
Cherie says her daughter would wake them up at 4:30. I would have gotten a spanking if I got up at 4:30 and woke my parents up. I would literally would have been spanked.
Yeah. This
So-
is yours, and you don't get to keep any of that stuff. You wake us up. We keep it.
I don't know about that. But
No, we don't. We didn't. But they never woke us up either. That was, we had a deal going. They agreed to it. Every one of them. Before we
I
went
listen
bed.
to a variety too, Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
I like the old and some of the new. I just
Yeah.
I sent my children Christmas cards only this year. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be with mine, so I didn't send her a card.
Right.
Mannheim Steamroller and the Trans-Siberian
Love
Orchestra.
them.
Fantastic.
Love them. I used to
One
play
of-
those in my classroom when I was teaching. I would, because there was no words, and you weren't allowed to have carols. So I made sure there were no words, but they were all Christmas stuff. If they said the words in their head, that's not my fault.
We got to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. One of the traditions that I have with my family, when they lived in Dallas, we would go to a concert of some sort. And Trans-Siberian Orchestra was one of them. And oh my God, their Christmas special is absolutely amazing. And then one year we went for Christmas, it was Cher. Cher was pretty cool. I love seeing her movies. I mean, her
Yeah.
concert. But we always went to one concert every year when I would go to Dallas for Christmas. That and the Star Trek movies, Star Wars movies we would go
Lisa,
to.
I loved it. I love it.
An adult friend who woke his kids up at 1 minute after midnight. He loved Christmas. Ooh, I'm not sure I love it that much. How fun, though. I bet his kids love that.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Awesome. And what about gingerbread houses? Does anybody do a gingerbread house? Do you know how hard it is to make a gingerbread house and make it stick together?
Now,
Unless
they
you're
have-
a baker or you can get a kit. I tried it from scratch.
When you
one
get
year.
a kid, it's almost not worth eating. It's
Well,
very.
you can't eat it.
No,
They're
you can't
disgusting,
eat it.
I'm sure.
If only
With
if
little
you
kid
make it-
hands, fingers all over it when you're building them. I wouldn't eat one. I'd love to do one. I haven't done
Yeah,
one
go
for
ahead
years.
and do one. If it's you doing it, then it's safe to eat. Everybody
I've
else.
never eaten them. I've never eaten a gingerbread house. We all just
No.
looked at them.
No, I kept thinking too much of Hansel and Gretel. That was a big thing when I was a kid. Didn't want to eat the gingerbread house.
The National Enquirer used to put up the largest Christmas tree in South Florida until the old man died. Huh.
A prefab.
Yes, they have prefab ones. That's the only way I would do it. And you're right, Suzanne. Display only. I don't know who the heck ever ate one of those things.
Right.
My
But I-
mother always made gingerbread or gingerbread men. Well, she didn't make the gingerbread. We got those from the bakery. But she would make fresh gingerbread with lemon sauce. Oh, yum.
Mm.
Anyway.
And of course, mince pies. But the picture I saw had like little tiny mince pies, not the great big one you get. They were all individual
In
little
England,
mince
you get
pies.
little bitty ones, and
Yeah.
they're delicious. And they're not mincemeat. There's no meat in them. They're just deliciousness of fruit. Kind of like what's in a fruit cake, I would imagine, but in a pastry, so it's better.
Yeah, gingerbread. Christmas is about the only time I'll make like popcorn balls, and I make tons of cookies to give away.
This lady bakes for Christmas. That's all she does for a month for Christmas. And
Not
then,
this year.
Just not this year because of her health issues. But
And-
we usually have gingerbread. And what? And
You
our-
asked me not to till you left.
I asked her not to make the cookies until I left town because I cannot not eat them, and I'm on a diet. And I don't want to eat them, and I can't say no if they're in my face.
So I have like 4 or 5 different kinds of
Our
cookie
refrigerator-
dough in the
our refrigerator
waiting
is
when
full
she
of
leaves,
cookie
I'm
dough.
gonna start baking.
Yep. Our refrigerator is absolutely chock-a-block. There's no food in there because we're both on diets, but there is cookie dough out the kazoo. So if anybody wants to come decorate cookies with Heather,
I already have two.
I think Christmas decoration is going to be the day after the day I leave.
No, not
the day after I leave.
They
so
haven't told me yet, but
on Wednesday, just come on over and you can decorate cookies with Heather.
Yeah, I've got
and Ron
and
Jill.
And Jill. They've got it down. Okay, she leaves us. I'll be here the next day. You know?
Yeah. Willow says, I can't do that anymore, but I used to bake the entire month of November and a half a month of December.
Mm-hmm.
That's her.
That's me.
Most incredible cookies. Heather is a baker beyond compare.
Thank you.
Her cookies, her pies, her cakes, everything is... I even make her make the pie crust because it's better than mine. And you know how hard that is to admit? She makes her pie. I use her pie crust for my cherry pie. Cherie says, gingerbread cookies we made and enjoyed. Oh, popcorn balls. We made those when I was young, and I did the same with my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. White Dragon, Heather, can you send Priscilla pictures of the cookies? Oh, you are bad. No, they better send pictures of the cookies because the two people that are decorating them,
they're really good.
They're actually artists, and so the cookies turn out crazy incredible.
And
which is another reason I'm glad I don't have to do it because mine don't compare anything to theirs.
I'm not cooking them while she's here, but I'm putting a bunch in the freezer. She's gonna have to try
Fudge,
each
Divinity,
one.
and chocolate popcorn. You guys are making me hungry. There's just deliciousness everywhere at Christmas
I
time.
have burned out two.
Burned out two what?
2 mixers trying to make Divinity.
Oh, wow. Well, you can't make it here in Florida. We're too humid. The moisture, you just can't make it here.
I used to have like an assembly line in Kansas for peanut brittle. Everybody loves my peanut brittle. I'd make up a tray, stick it outside where it's freezing cold, make up the next batch, take that tray out, pull that first
Remember,
one in,
it's chewy here. You made it here. And
I know,
it's delicious.
chewy, but you got to keep it in the refrigerator and put it there to start with, or else it's just going to be chewy.
I don't feel bad, Dragon. I feel actually good. I've lost 10 pounds, and I'm working out 5 days a week, and I feel really good.
Yes, and I like to make fudge. I might do that.
I like her to make fudge, too. Okay, I have another one. What about the Nutcracker? Who goes to see the Nutcracker Suite? We went this year for our second time since we've been down here. It's the cutest ballet ever down here. All the little children here are dressed like fish, like little fishes. And they run one direction and their little heads wobble like fish. And they run the other direction, their little heads are wobbling like the fishes are swimming. It's the cutest thing. I just love it.
And of course, I grew up with it, and growing up near New York, it was the professional ballet. We always saw it on TV. And then my daughter has been a ballerina.
Most of her life.
And she was constantly in Nutcracker, so I was going to see those all the time.
Well, look at this. Everybody likes it. White Dragon goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Willow, she says you haven't seen it. Go see it again. It's worth it. We hadn't seen it for a long time when we went.
It's just
Lisa Rhodes
fun.
watches it on TV. I'll have to look and see if it's on TV because I haven't seen it yet.
If it's on TV, it's the professionals, and
it's really good.
Yeah.
But this one is actually made towards being on the ocean. So the little kids are dressed like fish. It's just adorable.
The areas that have the solos and things like that, those are professionals.
Yeah,
they bring the professionals down for that. But for all those other little things, the smaller groups that kids usually play in, they're fish or lobsters.
Well, and
or
the
whatever.
set has coral and all kinds of a mermaid and all kinds of stuff. It's just done like a seaside.
Nutcracker and the girl are sitting inside of like a submarine watching them, or a bell. You know, they used to have these diving bells. You go down in the bell, and they're sitting in one of those.
It was adorable.
Yeah, it's cute. It is
Willow,
cute.
I didn't know that San Francisco had a theater in the round. How interesting. I always thought those were so much fun, the way the actors come running down the aisles.
Sides, yeah.
Yeah. We had one in Fort Worth called Casa Manana, and they used to have a lot of kids shows there. I don't know what they do there now.
And of course, after from the sublime to the ridiculous, does anybody remember ugly sweater parties?
I don't remember the parties.
I remember the ugly sweaters.
The sweaters for sure.
And I do remember when I was teaching, one of the last years I was teaching, there was an ugly sweater party, and you were invited, and you had to come in an ugly sweater. You didn't have to give it away, but you did have to show up in an ugly sweater.
Does anybody in the chat have an ugly Christmas sweater? I don't.
I don't.
Okay.
This is not a sweater, and it's not ugly. It's almost too big for me, but it's not ugly.
That's funny. And do we still leave cookies and milk for Santa Claus?
Absolutely.
How many of you guys have children and you still leave Santa Claus's cookies?
My kids always left them. Of course, I know who ate them. Or my husband, if I was married then.
Oh, that's fun, Shuri. I love that.
That's right. In Florida, you don't have sweaters.
We don't have sweaters in Florida. I have sweaters for Colorado, though.
Merry Christmas to you, Willow. I'm sorry you have to go to work.
Happy holidays, Willow. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us. Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas to you.
And there's only a few more things that we know, like candy canes. I love candy canes. I don't want to eat a whole bunch, but I love giving them out
Janet,
on Christmas.
you leave beer and pretzels for Santa Claus? That is so thoughtful.
I bet he enjoys
I
that.
bet he loves that.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he's sick of milk.
Probably.
Cookies.
No wonder he's fat. Beer would do it too, though, but it would be a much, maybe more enjoyable. Candy canes, yes, I love candy canes. We even have
sugar-free peppermint.
I'll tell you, when I find those, I usually eat them. I like them.
I do too.
Yep.
Okay, and here we go back
To the final, you can't have Christmas and New Year's without a boozy eggnog. And hers is really, really,
It's so
really, really
delicious.
good.
Plenty of candy canes. You know, that's one thing we do not have on our tree this year is candy canes.
No, but I still plan on going out and buying bunches of them, and if my back will take it, I will ride toodles slowly through downtown handing out candy canes to anybody who wants one.
Okay, I've got something about candy canes. The number one selling non-chocolate candy during December are candy canes, and it dates back to 1670 Germany. The red and white peppermint sticks arrived stateside in 1847 when a German-Swedish immigrant in Worcester, Ohio, placed them on a tree. And by the 1950s, they were automated candy-making machines invented, cementing their mass appeal. How about that? 7-Up and cookies.
That works too.
Interesting. Very good.
But they were very picky. They would pick from the cookies that they would even, my kids would even help decorate them, and they would take those cookies down for Santa Claus.
So if you guys want that, let's see, is it this one? Yeah. I can attach that to my Facebook if anybody wants this holiday bucket list. It's kind of cute. Do you have it? We can go through that real quick. Does anybody want cards read today?
Just a little bit.
Oh my God, it's already 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, their bucket lists are things like decorate the Christmas tree, eat a candy cane. We could do that. Donate to a good cause, drive around and see the holiday lights, host or attend an ugly sweater party, drink peppermint hot chocolate.
Or hot coffee with peppermint and chocolate. Not peppermint.
No, just hot chocolate in it.
Cinnamon and hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's good.
Delish.
Celebrate the holidays with your family. Try out a new holiday recipe. I'm usually trying out new cookies. Watch a holiday movie. Create a holiday playlist. Decorate your home for the holidays. Always.
Always.
Change backgrounds for the holiday. We did that. Volunteer your time. Hang a holiday wreath. go ice skating. Well, we used to do that when I was a kid. In New Jersey, it got cold enough. Read a holiday book, make an advent calendar or send it to the kids, drink mulled wine with friends. I actually have done that.
Do you guys drink mulled wine? It seems to be more of a British thing. I remember seeing it a lot at parties in England.
I had gotten some from my mom after my dad had passed away, but we went back there for Christmas, and my mom, she couldn't wait for the mulled wine. She loved it.
It's tasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then again, her family was from Scotland, so she was used to having it as a kid. So listen to carolers, make and send holiday cards, go holiday shopping, attend a local holiday market, and everybody has craft markets or something. Wrap a present for your loved ones. Your turn.
Host or attend a holiday meal. We just had ours last Sunday.
Homemade sangria, definitely.
Ooh, yum. Decorate a gingerbread house. Read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I read that to my daughter every Christmas Eve.
And I love the cartoon Christmas things they have. Like the Christmas that Christmas forgot a town. I mean, Santa forgot the town because the bell wouldn't work. It's a cartoon. I love it. And Frosty.
We got to watch Frosty and Rudolph.
Exactly.
Watch the Nutcracker Ballet. Send a letter to Santa. Go on a sleigh ride. Maybe a ski ride here.
Yeah, maybe a ski ride. A boat ride.
Participate in a fun gift exchange. Create a handmade gift. Watch a holiday parade. We missed the holiday parade this year in Key West, but we have one every year.
And it's usually pretty long.
And drink eggnog by the fire. Eat tangerine oranges. I'm not sure how that became a holiday bucket list thing. Eat tangerines. You can eat those all year round now.
Well, because the oranges are so big. Yeah, but it used to be.
Attend a local. I'm not sure what that is.
Holiday festival.
Festival. Make festive popcorn balls. Bake holiday cookies. Go sledding with friends.
We did that.
Pay it forward. I always try to pay it forward. Make your house smell Christmassy. I have some a Christmas, I think it's called Christmas Spirit from Young Living. I keep that going all month long. It's actually in my bedroom because I'm worried about her smelling it. But nevertheless, it's oranges and cinnamon, and it's just cloves, and it's delicious.
The Climation California's Raisin Show?
I haven't seen
that. I know what
them.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, we only had, I think we would have an orange and an apple in our stocking. That was like the bottom of the stocking, and some nuts.
And my mom would
get them. And there was always Brazil nuts, and I couldn't stand Brazil nuts.
There were mixed nuts that you had to crack open and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember my mom getting those and saying that the reason she got them is because otherwise you never got them.
Yeah.
It was really a treat.
Did the Claymation California Raisins actually have a Christmas show? I don't remember that. I may have to Google that. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Hang and fill stockings, create holiday ornaments, visit a light festival, wear matching pajamas, take a photo with Santa. My sister and I used to take our miniature horses to PetSmart and get their pictures with Santa Claus when we were younger.
Yep.
I loved it. Kiss under the mistletoe or watch a holiday concert or play.
And I agree.
Watch
you still have to have apples and oranges. It just smells so different when they start eating those, and just the smell of the orange when you're peeling it. The peel leaves, puts the fragrance out into the air. It's wonderful.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys had fun. We did.
Yes.
We enjoyed doing this today. No script, just a few notes, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Bye, White Dragon. Have a Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
See you next year.
And we will see you next year. Yes.
We do have one show left for the year, and that's tomorrow. We're going to have Scott Allen of Spiritual Essence, and I don't think we're going to do past live readings, but I'm sure we'll find something interesting, because it always is interesting when Scott's around. But that is our last show for 2022, and it will be episode 111. And that's for these two crones that started this channel on February 22nd, 2022. I can't believe how far we've come.
Yes. With your help. We
With all of
appreciate
your
it.
help. And we appreciate you and love you. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday time.
And spread your light around to
Please
everybody.
spread your light around. And
especially those who are struggling now. They
Yeah.
need as much light and love as you could give them.
yeah. So if you're not
Yes.
struggling, pass it on. Please pay it forward. Shine your light and have a wonderful holiday season. And we love you.
And
we'll
thumbs
see you
up
next time.
and subscribe and
Yes, please
Everything.
check your thumbs up. Hi, Junosphere. We're signing off till tomorrow when we... Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. We'll send you healing energy. We
Yes.
love you. Namaste
All of
to
you, take
everybody,
care.
and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
enjoy.